But welcome to this week's YouTube Live and the podcast. So, this past weekend, we went to the DUX Unlimited DUX Expo up in Memphis. Man, Memphis is something else. I have to say, this year, Memphis was a whole lot nicer outside the expo convention center than last year. There was a lot of homeless people on the streets, and but the temperature was good. We stayed about a block from the convention center, and it makes it real easy. But this year, Ducks Unlimited, I can't wait to see the numbers when it comes in, because it had to blow last year's numbers through the roof. Like, it was so popular that they opened another uh, showroom floor. Last year it was just on the second floor. This year they actually had booths on the inside of the first floor. Um, a lot of people in the calling contest. So it was a really good event. If you never went to it, I highly recommend it. I got to work the retail shotgun booth, and we're going to talk about some of the new things that's coming out of retail, some of the new things that I saw uh, at the expo, especially for waterfowl season. There was a lot of cool stuff there. So we arrived Thursday night. The expo was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I didn't go Sunday because that was a day coming back. It took 14 hours to go to Memphis and about 15 to come back. If you know anything about I-40 was shut down uh, due to the uh, hurricane that pretty much washed away 2 lanes of the interstate and had the interstate shut down for a whole year. So it's back open, but traffic is really slow. Like, it's going to probably be a long time before it's back open. Hey, Nick, man, it was a great show. Man, I appreciate hanging out too, man. But yeah, so Friday is a half day. It goes from 12 to 5, 12 to 6, and then Saturday is 9 to 6. And I think Sunday is also 9 to 6, or at least 9 to something on Sunday. But to get back on work, and plus, kids started back at school Monday. So kind of had to be back, and we had to leave on a Sunday. But when I say I didn't get to see it all, I didn't get to see it all. Even though I was there 2 days, my main job was to be, ambassador for retail and work in the booth. But there was still some walking around, and I'm telling you, there were so many vendors. Honestly, I think if you went, you could spend 2 days and possibly not see it all. Like, I am not making it up. It is the biggest show that I probably say that I go to every year, and just blown away each year when it keeps getting bigger. I mean, it is unreal. So Friday I got there that morning. Event opened at 12. A lot of people. Um, Mom. So get there, get into the retail booth, and I got there a little bit before the doors open. So I got to see and put my hands on some of the new retail guns before anybody else even came into the vendor hall, which some of these are like brand new, just released, and a few of them haven't been released. So we're going to talk about that tonight and talk about some of the other stuff that I saw walking around. So if if you are tuning in, drop where you from. What big great state you from? I'm from the great state of South Carolina, but let me know where you from. Comment and say where you from. Got a couple streams going tonight, so I'm watching both ends. But to start with, the retail booth. Uh, it was set up a little bit different this year, but it was right in front of a door, so a lot of traffic came through. And I'm telling you, Saturday, this booth was probably, I don't know, let's just say probably 20 by 20. And there was a section of time where honestly you could have not got one more person in that booth. That's how packed it was. I mean, it was unreal. The people that were coming by and checking out the retails for the first time, and you know, repeat customers. But Brita is the parent company of Retail, and Brita has some of their shotguns there. And by far, uh, there's a couple of the Britas that are just amazing. Like the detail in them is unreal. But with the Retails, they had the new single shot turkey gun, the 410. And I got videos on all this. So if you're watching, subscribe to my YouTube channel, RD Reynolds Outdoors. There'll be a lot of videos, a lot. On the retail side, that single gauge was there, the 410 turkey gun. The new sporting edition was also there. It was the ported barrels, weighted front, wood furnishers. It had the raised rib. This is the new sporting shotgun. I can't wait to get my hands on it. That's going to be my next one as soon as it's released, and it should be soon. With that being said, should be soon. All of the Upland versions were there, the 12 gauge, 20 gauge, 28 gauge. The Uplands, oh my gosh, y'all, wait till you get them in your hand. A 5-pound, 20 gauge shotgun. I mean, the wood on it is amazing. It is shiny. I mean, it is so pretty that it's almost too pretty to be even used. They were there. There was a couple more other ones there. There was a lot of different Cerakotes. They had one section of Brita shotguns by Rob Roberts. They were all decked out, Cerakoted. There was a lot of retails that were special Cerakoted. They were duck camp editions. They were low numbers. They were in series. They had all three gauges there, 12, 20, and 28 in the Ace R's. A lot of people are really coming by and looking at them Ace R's, the mid hump. A lot of people would say, oh, that's the humpback of a A5. It is not. A A5 hump is like straight and it's higher. If you never shot a big humpback, it is definitely in your face. This is a mid hump, and it's kind of, I would say, a little bit more of an angle going towards the barrel, but is definitely what people are like. If you're looking for something that's in your face, the Ace R is definitely it. But Retail also dropped 2 new lines of 22 rifles, and one of them was a bolt action. And I'm talking about the weight of this bolt action 22. It reminded me of another company, but better. I got a video of it, how you drop the magazine on it, and it is by far awesome. And I'm talking about this bolt. I'm not even a 22 kind of guy. Like, plinking is fun, but there's no like boom. It's just plinking. But this one almost changed me. Like the way the magazine drops out is unreal. And I'm telling you, the bolt, it's almost like I would say like a 30-06 kind of bolt. Like, I mean, it is beefy. The barrel is beefy. Um, it's going to be in wood and it's going to be in black. They also dropped their new AR like type 22. The pistols were there, the 22 pistols. Um, the pump was there, the Gordians were there, but a lot of the Ace and Ace R's was definitely what everybody was looking at. 28 gauges, man. There was 28 gauges everywhere at the show, but it was awesome to get the opportunity to be there in the retail booth and meet so many people. Uh, there were so many people coming through, got all kind of videos and stuff. Amazing. But in that first area, you had all kind of big companies like T-shirts, like Drake, like Mossberg. Uh, you had Shein. You had all these big companies that had clothing. And when I say they had all of their clothing, it looked like they pretty much had the whole catalog there. You had Reed's Sporting Gun Store there. They had a lot of shotguns, a lot of knives, a lot of calls, lot of outfitters, a lot of decoy makers, a lot of new decoy makers. The one that caught my eye is a new company. And when I've been around waterfowl a little bit, a couple years. We all know a regular standard decoy is about that big. And then you got the oversized decoys. The ducks kind of look like goose decoys. They're oversized. But I'm talking about these were oversized decoys. I'm talking about I've never seen a decoy this big. Like the pintail was the size of a swan. Like my hand, and I got a pretty big hand, would not cover the whole face of that decoy. The keel, I'm not even making it up. The keel was like that big. Like it was massive. Uh, and I was actually really surprised on how much they cost. I hope to get them on the channel. I talked to them a good while. I mean, they had the pintails, the mallards, the hens, a bunch of other ones. They didn't have no wood duck. I was kind of surprised, but they were made for big water hunting. Uh, Big water. I mean, you would have to see these from a long ways. I'm talking about decoys the size of this goose behind me, not baby goose, but big mama over here of a mallard. That's how big these decoys were. I mean, they were amazing. That's all I could say. I wanted a set right then, but I had to hold up. Um, how were they up close? The pintails, amazing. I'm when I'm telling you, you wait till you see this video. I'm gonna share it on YouTube Reels and Facebook. I've been doing a lot of stuff on Facebook. So if you're not following me on Facebook, follow me on Facebook, RD Reynolds Outdoors. Um, YouTube is went very woke and AI. They have took down so many of my videos lately. It is unreal. But they're back at it with the AI. I lose about a video a day saying I broke some kind of firearm policy that most of the time it's alive. Like I'm not breaking anything on a live, but hey, whatever. It's their sandbox, and I'm just trying to play in it. But when I say These things were massive. I'm telling you, they were massive. I probably can pull one up here because there's some photos that I can pull up of the event. So let me see what I can come up with over here while I'm still talking. So that was pretty cool. Uh, if you're on any social media right now, you've been seeing this one company talking about how to put motion in your decoys where it goes on any keel. Um, I met them. I'm gonna have them on. Here is all right. So let me show you my screen here. Now I know everybody can't see it. I know the people on TikTok over here, they won't be able to see it. But y'all watching on Facebook and YouTube Live, you can see it. So check this out. Look at this. All right, so this is a video. All right, look at that. Look at that redhead right there. Wait for it. Wait for it. There's my hand. Look at that. That's my hand. That sun gun is massive. Look at that. Covering up half his face. The pintail was the exact same size. I'm talking about these things were massive. Up above there, you can see the teal. That teal is bigger than any mallard decoy. Like, you got your regular mallard decoys and then you got the oversized mallard decoys. That's how big them teal were. Hey, Jay Bird. But the widgeon down there, same thing, massive. But I mean, look at that. I mean, my hand is like literally, I mean, that's a pretty big hand. I keep my hand strong. But yeah, this was pretty cool. I definitely can't wait to get them on. And when I'm telling you, you look at my hand right here and then look at that keel. I mean, that's at least two hand. That keel is that big. What's up, Mike Green? Massive, biggest decoys I ever seen. It almost reminded me of the goose decoys that you can get into goose hunt. The ones that come over you and you can get up under the goose that look like real geese out in the field. That's what that looked like. Um, that was one. Let me see if there's anything else that I could show on here. I saw this. I thought about buying it. I thought about writing them a check. But they said my check wouldn't work. That's what we need out in the swamp right there, boy. If you got that stuck, you in a bad situation that you didn't need to be in right there. I'm just telling you. I mean, this dude is launching the dog off the top, and I'm telling you, that's like a full size dog um, figurine there, and that thing was massive. Like, I really don't even know how they got that in there. Like, how long did it take? Somebody say happy birthday. Um, but I mean, how did it get in there without ripping the carpet? Like, they had to use sheets of plywood to move that around. I mean, it massive. There was a whole square body full size Chevy up in there. Oh man, I'm telling you, it was unreal. What else do we got in here? Blind Grass was there. Billy from uh, Duck Camp was there. Oh man, there's so many vendors. I was trying to look through what I can and can't show, and I really want to show a lot of these, but I just can't with the rules of the lives. What else is there? I'm scrolling here. Um, yeah, like I said, there's a lot of them on here I just can't show, but excellent event. Like, I'm telling you, if you can make it to Memphis, It is one of the biggest DUX events ever. And I can only imagine. Look at that. See, that's what I'm talking about. YouTube, right there. Oh, wait, gotta change cameras. Look at that. Right there. YouTube, remove my content. On a live. That's a live. That was a live from like 2 years ago. I don't get it. Most of y'all that's in the comments there, y'all come here all the time to watch the lives, and yet YouTube's AI. That's all I could do. You can't fight it. That's the reason. That's how I ended up with the 2 strikes last time. But we're still pushing forward. That's why I said you should definitely follow me on Facebook. I got TikTok going over here too. But let's see, what else was there? There was a bunch of motion decoys, and I'm talking like motion as in a lot of different decoy manufacturers that's doing the bobbling, a lot of them moving. There was one company there that showed you how to set up a belt, like a belt train system. A lot of retrievers companies there. A lot of duck calls. Man, there was a lot of duck calls. There was a duck calling competition. I got that posted on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. If you want to go back and watch that, there were 42 people who competed in the world cut down call. Now, let me tell you about this world cut down call. There was 2 of them. Two things I want to talk about. One is the prize. You got a check, and I don't remember how much that check was, but it was pretty impressive. Like maybe $5,000, $7,000, something like that. And you got a boat. Yeah, a boat with a mud motor. Maybe it wasn't a mud motor, but it had a motor, a trailer, like fully loaded boat. Back up the trailer, hook up, go duck hunting. Like, that's impressive. That's a big payday on just duck calling. But there was a lot of competition there too. Now, I ain't even gonna say there's absolutely no way I could have competed in it. But with that being said, the other thing that I wanted to talk about was a pretty funny event. I really need to find the guy who it was. So these young boys, and I'm just going to say young 16 to 24-year-olds, they had their buddies there. And somehow, because like I said, I want to know the background history of this story. Somehow, one of the boys lost a bet. They had some kind of bet going, and he lost the bet. And he has never blew a duck call, never been in a competition. And the bet was whoever lost the bet had to go and compete in this duck calling contest. So, not knowing the story, you hear the young boy and being on the duck watching it, they have a scenario. And the scenario would be, and the scenario changes for every different competition. But the scenario was there's a duck far away, you're calling it, it's coming into the decoys, and then it flares, and then you got to do a comeback call. So you basically calling loud and then quieting it and then getting it really quiet, like quiet, quiet. And then the duck's supposed to flare, and then you calling again. Basically, they're trying to get you to do all kind of volumes and how you can control the call. So this dude gets up there and it's the same call, and most of the, and again, he probably still did better than what I would probably do, but you could see that he was really blowing versus coming from the diaphragm. And he was doing the same quacks over. It was like, not knowing the story, I was like, I can't believe this dude's up here. But now knowing that he lost the bet and he's never had a call, he literally learned how to blow just to go up there, makes the story even funnier. But it was hilarious. And there's a lot of videos on social media talking about it. Very funny. But I think they went 3 rounds before they had a winner. Like I said, it was 42, 44 people that entered. There was one little kid that got up there, and the kid did a really good job. Like they don't, the announcers, when they just call a number, and each person is random. They draw numbers in the back. You don't know what order you're gonna go in, and the rules are you don't go up there and say congratulations. Like one of the other retail ambassadors, Mason, which comes on the channel to talk turkeys a lot, he was calling in the duck calling contest. So I can't go after at the end and be like, way to go, Mason, woo, because the judges are behind the tent. And if I call out Mason and the judge is Mason's buddy, then he could get a higher score and they can disqualify that person for that. So there is no congratulations. There's caller number 2, caller number 3. Do you want to warm up? Yes, no. Okay, that was it. I mean, that's all the caller says. But this little kid, and I'm not sure the age, 6 to 10 years old. And during this competition, you got 90 seconds, a minute and a half. And you're gonna be like, a minute and a half, I could blow a minute and a half. Nah, I'm telling you, try blowing, and it ain't quack. It is wah, 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 for a minute and a half, and you're still having to get air and not miss a beat, not miss a tone, not break the call open. It's tough. And this little kid was out there, and I mean, he was doing a pretty decent job. And everybody clapped, and even the announcer guy. Now, we all knew that he wasn't going to win because he missed a couple of spots. But again, really good at a lot of stuff that he was doing. And the announcer guy was like, you know what? I'm going to break protocol on this. Y'all give this little kid a heck of a standing ovation. And I mean, everybody got up and clapped. I mean, that did let the people know in the back, hey, that was the little kid. But they already knew there was a little kid going out there. So, but it was pretty awesome. I mean, the people that came up to the kid after and congratulated, that kid, if he stays in it, would definitely be a champion sometime in the future. It was pretty awesome to see. But that was the duck calling contest, and that was all on cut down calls. And then we went back up, walked around. You had Stanfield Lodge there, Jeff and Andy, who were on the Big Honker podcast. You had all kind of shotgun shell manufacturers there: Winchester, Boss, Apex. You had Migra. Who else was there? There was a couple other ones. They were there. You had 2 artists drawing, and when I say these 2 guys that were drawing looked like every photo they had could be a duck stamp. That's how awesome they were. Like there was a couple of photos I would have guaranteed you was a photo. Like it was that much detail. I would have argued if I didn't see it with my own eyes that somebody drew that. That's how talented they were. They were giving away all kind of dogs. Oh my gosh! If you had a puppy, there were every kid was there. Uh, there were so many kids. Kudos to all the places that were handing out hats. My son got a hat for about every day of the week for the next 2 weeks. Like he could probably wear a different hat every day for 2 weeks and not wear the same hat. Our local South Carolina duck maker, the waterfowl company, Daryl, he was there. 737, I think, was there. Um, Man, I'm telling you, it's a massive event. Uh, there was a company who built metal trailers, and the trailers are not nothing new. But I'm gonna explain the bigger trailer before I explain the little trailer. Um, the trailer was probably a 16, 20 footer. Basically, you pulled it in the field and it went down, the tires went up, and it was like a pit blind built into a trailer. Very nice. I mean, very, very nice. But beside it, they had a mini version that kind of looked like cattle panels, but the way it folded down, it would fold down all. I'm talking about the size, the top. I mean, it folded down about that thick, and it had wheels, and you could hook it to a four wheeler, or you could just walk it out. Yeah, I was fixing to say I'll walk it out, but I had the microphone don't make me a professional singer, but yeah, that thing's awesome. I mean, awesome. Like I was almost ready to trade in my blind that I have set up at one of my ponds with this thing because it was unreal. Um, there was 3D call makers, there was 3D everything makers, there was jury makers. There's a guy who makes a lot of stainless, sterling silver, stainless, and gold turkeys, duck pendants, like necklaces, where he hand makes them. I see him a lot on social media. He was there, and I mean, his work was unreal. He was already sold out of the goose, and that was my favorite one that he makes, and he didn't have it in stock, or I might have would have walked away with the goose. The goose is amazing. He does flounder, like his hand making jewelry is awesome. A lot of coffee. There was a lot of coffee there. It wasn't Black Rifle. It was Dirty Ducks. Dirty Ducks was there, and I'm talking about when I say Dirty Ducks setup, I'm probably talking maybe a 20 by 40 setup. Like they have every coffee that they make there on scene. Um, lot of dog training events, live podcast everywhere. Like DU's got a booth set up for live podcasts. Russell Ramsey was there. Duck Dynasty people were there. Cadillac Creek, and I miss Cadillac Creek. I really wanted to go by and see Cadillac Creek. They were there. Man, I'm telling you, I'm missing them because I just can't. It is so big without looking at the videos. Like all the vendors, I'm trying to look it up now. See who was all there. Like I said, I enjoy the event. It is a ride though. I am not going to lie to you. Driving all the way to Memphis is a ride. Um, let's see who else was there. Um, bunch of car manufacturers. There was two people, two different booths. of clothing that I couldn't even like. I felt like I couldn't even afford to walk into them. It was very leatherish, the old timey um it's not leather, but it was like the old canvas back, like our great grandfathers would have hunted out of, that old canvas waxed material stuff. But I'm talking about like jackets, like suitcases. I mean, when you walk by, you could smell expensive. That's how nice it was. Um, Bass Pro Shop had a humongous setup. Now, granted, Bass Pro Shop is literally across the road in the big pyramid. If you've never been to that Bass Pro Shop, it is unbelievable. There is a elevator in the middle that takes you probably 15, 16 stories high, and there's a restaurant at the top with a fish tank in it. When I say fish tank, I'm talking like bigger than this room fish tank in the restaurant. And then they got glass balconies that you can walk out on this pyramid. This pyramid of the Bass Pro Shop is so big, it has, I don't even know how many restaurants inside. It has a bowling alley. It has its own hotel. And in the hotel, each balcony for each room overlooks the store, which is a screen porch, which has rocking chairs in it. But you better be ready to prepare to pay for it, though. I stayed in I can't think of the name of that hotel. It was a big C. Oh man, I can't think of the hotel. It's literally a block and a half from the convention center. We stayed there for 2 years. The hotel was like $120 a night, something like that, and we booked it well in advance. I couldn't imagine if you waited to the last minute. But it was like $120 a night. I think we stayed, let's say Friday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So it would have been like $400 or $500 for 3 nights. 2 nights at the Bass Pro Shop was over $1,000. And I told my wife, I was like, I really, really, really want to stay there, but the coolness doesn't outweigh the price. Like, there's no way I can say, hey, I want to stay at this hotel that costs this much money when I could pay half the price and get extra days. But it was something else. It was a Comfort Inn is what it was. And the view of the Comfort Inn, if you ever go, you want to request the Mississippi Riverside. You can see the Mississippi right out the window. And when I say 100 yards, the Mississippi is 100 yards, maybe 150. You see a lot of barges. You see what they call Mud Island of Mississippi, the bridge, and the bridge has all kind of lights and words and all kind of stuff on it. But the Mississippi, y'all, was way down. Let me pull up Google Maps. Like, we hear as duck hunters and stuff how bad the Mississippi needs rain and all, but I'm telling y'all, it was bad. So let me pull up my screen here, show y'all. So that is not what I want. There we go. Maybe. First time running a podcast. So here is Nashville, and you got Memphis here. So here's downtown. Let me turn on the layers here. So here's downtown Memphis. Here is the conference center right here, and I'm telling you, it's massive. And then here is that Bass Pro Shop, and I'm going to drop the little man here and show y'all the Bass Pro Shop. If you've never seen it, like I said, it is really cool. It's really big. Somewhere around that area is the hotel. Hey Jeff, but like I said, the glass balcony, um, I didn't like it. I didn't walk out there other than to take a photo. But right behind there is the restaurant. But here's the convention center. And when I say that expo takes up that whole floor, that expo takes up the whole floor. And like I said, this year it grew so big that they had to put people downstairs. There was probably 40 different vendors downstairs. Um, Massive event. But here is the um, conference center, and here is the hotel that we stayed at right here. So a block and a half, you got a federal building, and then you got Memphis City Hall. And I will tell you, now this is just me. If I was you and I ever wanted to go to DUX Expo, I would either book the hotel that we stayed at, which is right here, right beside the Memphis Museum, or this hotel right here, right beside it. Because if you walk down this street, if you ever been to a big city, you're gonna smell a lot of smells that you wish you wouldn't have smelled. It's very homelessness, or that might be a nicer way to put it, but a lot of areas like stairwells and stuff like this. I'm kind of moved a little bit too fast, but when you get around areas like here, the smell of human, how can you say that? Feces is pretty bad. Like, it's pretty bad. That's all I can say. You want to either Uber in, Uber out, or stay at one of the nearby hotels. That's the best thing I can tell you. But with that being said, this is the main reason I wanted to brought y'all here to talk about it anyway. So, like I said, you could overlook the Mississippi. This is like a walking trail. They call this Mud Island. Here's a public boat ramp. You can see here in this photo. Now the water is low in this photo. It's already, the Mississippi was already low, because here's the boat dock that's supposed to be floating. This is supposed to be up in the air or on the water floating. You pull your boat up, get out here, go get your truck. These trucks are literally parking on the boat ramp. The water was lower than that. All right, so this water right here, going up and down here, is where the barges go. This little sandbar that you see in the photo here, this little bit of sandbar, nah, all this was sand. Like this whole wall, this whole jetty, everything up this part of the Mississippi, 100% dry. You could walk across. No water. There was no water flowing through there. It might have been a little creek over here flowing, but all of that was completely gone. It was that dried up. And the barges running up and down the Mississippi, it looked like they had their motors trimmed up as high as they could go to just to make the barges. I mean, it was, I honestly, I can't believe that they were even making it through it. I mean, it was bone dry, but really cool bridge. Like I said, you could see it from the hotel. Really cool. There it is. Look at that, y'all. That's what I'm talking about. I don't know when this photo, does it say November the 25th? All right, look at that. November the 25th. It was worse than that. That's how bad, I'm telling you. Look at this photo. You could see water. Water up in here. Let me drop the little man back on the bridge. And that, I mean, honestly, if the Mississippi's drying up, y'all, like, I know Hank Williams Jr. sung about that, but I mean, literally, sandbar. Like this barge right here, you see how close they were tucked to the land? It was unreal. And if you never been to the Mississippi and watched how fast the Mississippi is, a lot of times we hear duck hunters talk about how dangerous the Mississippi is and how dangerous going out to duck hunt. Um, it is flowing, really flowing. Um, I really don't know how fast that water's going, but I can imagine in the wintertime it is really going, because up here and between Dyersburg and Union City is Reelfoot Lake. Um, and then right out here, you can come on this little dirt road and you can look out on the Mississippi. We come out here a lot of times and watch the barges go up and down the river, but that water is like moving. uh, Mississippi is very dangerous. If you don't know where you're going, um, a lot of people try to go there and duck hunt. First time not knowing where to go is very dangerous. So, with that being said, y'all be careful on that Mississippi. I mean, you can see here that this tugboat might not even be called a tugboat, but I'm gonna call it a tugboat because it's moving the barge. You can see how much waves he's making, and that's going downstream. I mean, the Mississippi is dry. Maybe Hank Williams Jr. was on to something when he said the Mississippi was running dry. But Jeff says got some Dave Smith Maximum Mallard floats. They are awesome and not bad price. That's good, Jeff. Let's see. Who else was there? Let's load some more. I mean, a bunch of people. A lot of four wheelers. There was a lot of four wheelers. A lot of side by sides. Um, a few rifle companies were there. Uh, I'm scrolling through the list now. Um, Dive Bomb was there. Um, who else was there? There was a couple more that was real big. Yeah, the Duck Commander and the Buck Commander were there. Um, Ducks Unlimited they were set up like they were last year, but they were like in the hallway set up. They had a whole lot more booths set up too. A lot of stuff selling their hats and their shirts and stuff for conservation. There was a lot of people walking around trying to get people to sign petition on this new prairie pothole controversy that's going on with draining the potholes. Final Approach was there. First Flight was there. Um, Bunch of waiters. Oh my gosh, the waiter companies that were there. Um, man, I'm telling you, I'm looking through here, and I'm just in the G's. Like Haybo, was there. I know Haybo is big in the South here where we are. Uh, Hagen decoys were there. JT Calls were there. We see a lot of videos on them. Lucky Duck. Um, man, there was all kind of taxidermists there. There was jerky companies. Uh, man, my son got some really good gator and ostrich. Don't drink the duck factory. That man, I know that's a talking point right now. Um, that would be bad if they got rid of the potholes. Um, R&T calls were there. Rogers were there. Oh my gosh. Rogers Sporting Good. We all probably have bought something from Rogers. Uh, they had a massive setup. Lucky Duck was there. Um, Man, there was a couple of silencer companies there. Um, Trying to go down this list. I'm telling you, I know that I'm missing some. Top down decoys were there. We had him on before. War Eagle, the water feather decoys were there. A lot of layout blinds. There was a lot of layout blinds. Um, so I'm gonna share the screen right here. So y'all can know that I'm not kidding you. So this is the V's and the W's. And I'm going to scroll up. When I say all these people were there, yeah, this is just the S's. This show is by far some of the greatest names there is to hunting. Um, Big names. I mean, here now we just got into the O's and the N. So if you could ever make it to this show, definitely try to put it on your calendar. I'm sure next year's date's probably already set. I'm sure they already booked it. Um, I don't know off the top of my head here, and it might tell me at the top how many vendors it was. And that don't mean right there 294 vendors. And that might be before they added some. That's probably not counting double booths. Like, I know that when you buy a vendor booth, and it's usually at any show, you get one booth and it's 10 by 10. Well, you want something bigger, so now you got to get two booths, which would be 10 by 20 and four, it goes on. So just because one vendor name might be there, they may have took up a spot that is 2 or 3 times the size of my house. And I'm not making that up. Mossberg, not Mossberg, Mossberg was there. Real Tree and Mossy Oak and Shin, but Mossy Oak probably has the biggest footprint. And when I say 4 of my houses, which probably nobody knows what my house looks like, but let's just say an average 2,000 square foot house, there was about 4 of them the size of their footprint. And the whole time that the venue was open at the Mossy Oak, there was somebody singing on a guitar the whole time, like live music the whole time. Um, I'm telling you, it's a massive event, and I know I'm leaving some stuff out. And like I said, there's a lot of stuff, a lot of videos I couldn't take. There were so many people there. I couldn't get in to interview people. I got a lot of contacts that I hope to get them on the channel to talk about, but it was a great event. My mother got to go with us. She got to go to the event, and she sat around. Mostly, I mean, it was just too much to walk. But we had a really good time. Took my son. Man, he had a blast. There was no, hey, it's time to go to bed. He was exhausted by the end of the day, but it was pretty awesome, and it was a sheer honor to be able to work the retape booth and see all the new shotguns that are coming out. Like I said, I cannot wait to get my hands on the new sporting one, and y'all are going to be blown away with the ultralight upland shotguns. I mean, amazing. Beautiful is pretty much it is definitely not a waterfowl gun. It is one of them upland skeet shooting type guns. It is your grandpa's dove gun. That kind of, I mean, just really beautiful. Um, but had a blast. With that being said, there is two more shows that I will be going to this year. Um, no, there will be two more shows that I will be at this year. There's three more shows coming up. One is in, I think, September. I need to write these dates down. So maybe next week I will bring the topic back up of these dates. They still a little bit out. You got the PD show in South Carolina. That one's going to be next. I will be there, but I will not be in a booth. The Great PD is a event in Florence, South Carolina. It's a okay show. And then you got the Great Outdoors event that's going to be in Sumter. That's going to be um, at the Ace Hardware. I had them on last year. That is going to be a great show. I will be at the retail booth for that event. I think that one's in October. I think. Like I said, we got some time to talk about it, and then I'm waiting on them to post the dates on the Summerton Duck Festival in South Carolina. Don't have no dates on that yet, but I definitely will be there, having a table there also. But that's pretty much it. I know last week, I told y'all about, like I said, I try to keep, I try to be as real as I can on these lives. I try to be as real as I can on my videos. I'd like to say everything that you see on video is pretty much me, all the time. So on these lives, I told y'all last week that my wife was going back and having her first year cancer colonoscopy, and she's got scans coming up. If you don't know, this time last year, she went in for a colonoscopy. They said, hey, as soon as she woke up, hey, plan for surgery. Our whole world kind of turned upside down for about 2 weeks when we really didn't know what was going on. They found cancer in her colon. Um, so we really didn't know what was going on last year. And then, they just said plan for surgery. We didn't know when. Did a lot of tests, and then they did do surgery, and they took 8 inches of her colon out. So this year was the first year for her colonoscopy. And backing it up, maybe a month ago, and I'm pretty sure I said it on the live. Um, a month ago, she had a test, but 2 months before that, she had a lump come up under her arm, and it kept getting bigger and bigger. And a month ago, she had it scheduled, and they did a test, and it came back no cancer. But when somebody has cancer, you're always waiting, or you had that fear of, is it coming back? Like, we are them people now. Like, you getting a cold. Oh God, I hope it ain't. It's hard not to think that. And I try to be very positive, and I try all the time on this channel to praise God, give God the glory. We try not to question him or his um goals or his meaning of what we're supposed to do, our purpose in life. But it's always that what if kind of in the back of your head. She's cancer free. They got it all. They sent everything off around her, all the lymph nodes, the first time when they did her surgery. But when that one came up under her arm, it kind of scared us, obviously. And then when we got that back, that kind of made us feel a little bit better. But this whole week, building up last week, going into Monday of this week, was very stressful. Very, you know, she was just ready to get it over with, kind of not uneasy, not like scared, but just wanting to know, okay, do I have something else? Let's conquer it and move on, or just want to have a plan. But she went Monday, did a colonoscopy. They found a polyp. They removed it, and they found something else around the. I'm not going to say. It's where they cut the colon and put the colon back and the stitches. They found something there, and they really didn't know what it was, so they took it to. And the doctor said he thought it was probably something with the stitching, or maybe it was like a stitch that kind of didn't dissolve, and kind of like a lump or some type of non-cancerous. So the results came back, and she doesn't have any cancer. Thank God. Give him all the glory. Thank y'all for all the prayers. So many prayers. I 1,000,000% believe in prayers. I believe prayers still work. They work then, they work now. But the one of the polyps that did come back was negative, but he did say that type of polyps are typically the ones that do turn into cancer. So was that like the other one that she had? Maybe. But they're going to have to continue to monitor. They did move her out to 3 years, so that's a plus. And that other thing that they found was scar tissue. So they did take that. It was like a fatty kind of like scar tissue kind of deal. So they did take that, and there wasn't nothing uh, with that. And they gave her a good okay to go. She goes back next week for like a CAT scan, which will do her chest area, not just chest, but like chest, lungs, all the lymph nodes up here, and pelvis area. So hopefully all that goes good. When they did do the lump under her arm, they did some kind of scan there. So in theory, that should be good, but you never know with the lungs. You never know with lymph nodes. Usually that's what happens. Cancer gets in the lymph nodes, and then it just spreads. So we're not looking at the what ifs. We're looking at the right nows, and the right now is she's cancer free, and praise God for that. And so next week, like I said, I hope to have some results back from that. Next Wednesday, I'm pretty sure next Wednesday we will have the guy back on to talk about what has came up with the DNR and deer dog running. So that will be on. He will hopefully have more insights and after the meeting that they have. But that's pretty much it. There was a lot going on. I haven't even unpacked from the event. It's been a wide open weekend. A lot of driving. The Super Honda made it to Memphis and back. Really good gas mileage. I really like that Honda. I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm really liking it. But we were safe going, coming back. Our family was safe during the whole time, and like I said, good good news Monday. So let's see. That's about all I got for this week. Just remember that a lot of kids are going back to school this week, so just slow it down a little bit in the morning times. Um, there's a whole lot of uncertainty going on with people getting dropped off and picked up. So have a little patience if you're in the school zone. Pray for them teachers, man. Oof. I don't know how they do it. I don't. That is a passion. Just like everything else you do in life, it is a passion for sure. But that's about all I got for this week. One thing that I'm going to end on, like I always do. I like to end the show giving a little credit to what I go through in life, and kind of little hints of God and Jesus. But the one thing that I said this week, I said it Monday. You know, Noah built an ark. He had the plans. Like, he had the blueprints of what God wanted that ark to be, down to how big, what tree, how to cover it, what kind of tar, where each animal was going, everything that he had the blueprints for it. Except one thing: when you have a boat, you got to have either a steering wheel or some kind of rudder. That wasn't in the ark. It had neither one of them. And what kind of boat would be a boat without a steering wheel or a rudder? It's one of them boats that you have no control over. And that's what I referenced to this week. Yeah, she had cancer. Is it going to control our life? The devil may try to bring it back up. He might try to do something. But we're not controlling that ship. We're not controlling that boat. And just like Noah, he had no control of where he ended up. He had no control over it. We don't have no control. God is leading us where he wants us. And a lot of times we forget that. A lot of times it's what we want. That is 100% human, 100% me. I want my wife cancer free. I want everybody cancer free. I don't like seeing cancer in kids. That's not what I want. But my wants is not his plan. And a lot of times we have to sit back and realize, what is his plan? We always don't understand the plan. Sometimes we don't even sometimes get to see the plan work out. It may be years down the road before something comes about and says, "Oh, that's what that's for." But it's his will, not our will. If that was the case, I would try to do a lot of things my way. And my way definitely ain't the right way. And I say that 1,000 times. Don't look at RD and be like, he's got it going on. I want to be like him. No, I mess up just like everybody else. I can promise you that. But I know a God who loved me so much that he sent his son to die on the cross for my sins. And all you got to do is call out his name. And that's why I say, I still pray. I still believe in prayer. Um, and I just looked over, and I'm sure if y'all are watching, y'all are like, "Oh my goodness, he doesn't even see it." Look at that joker right there eating off that salt block. That is live. You keep staying there, buddy. You gonna be in the freezer comes shotgun season. That joker's massive. I mean, I don't even I don't even know. I mean, one, two, three, four. Maybe that's like a 6 point. Maybe that's all right. Makes for good television or live. But that Joker is tearing that up. And if you never seen my videos on them salt blocks, I take a product over here. This rootin' rock, and I have the liquid that if you ever got one of them salt blocks, you know how they got the hole in the top. I fill that up. But man, that stuff is like, I'm telling you, is the best smelling ever. But if you are now getting ready for deer hunting, this Raging Boar Outdoors, this stuff right here, you need to go check that out. He looks like he's got an offset antler. Man, that's an ugly looking rack. I think he needs to be in the freezer. And it could just be the way the camera's turned. I can't tell if that one on the left has a all sprig or not. But it definitely looked like it's in velvet. But oh yeah. That's what it was. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7. You know, I could run out there and count them real quick, and y'all would see me on camera running around. That would be interesting just to see me running around. But we're gonna let him eat in peace. But yeah, y'all go check that product out. And before I end, I also want to I want to say this right here. It says congratulations to me. Nah, it ain't me. It's y'all. 100%. That right there is congratulations to each one of y'all. 23 million views on YouTube. 23 million views. With that being said, if you have a goal of doing a YouTube channel or a live, go for it. Because if a country boy like me that can't hardly pronounce half the words right can do it, you can do it. Don't be scared to go try something. 23 million people. That's probably more than 20. Well, give or take. But 23 million views. I know a lot of y'all tune in every week, and I greatly appreciate it. And the friendships that I made, the company, the people I hunt with, there are so many people that I've met since I started this. Is unreal. It's unbelievable. And I am truly grateful. I am grateful that the good Lord has gave me a platform, and every so often I try to give his name credit. I know I don't do it every video because people don't tune in to hear what beliefs I believe in. That's why I try to save it to the end so y'all can get it at the end, because it is mostly a hunting channel. I get that. It really is. But I need to still give credit while I got a voice and air in my lungs to somebody who loves me more than anybody ever. He loved me so much that he died on the cross for me and for you. And I said earlier, what is our purpose? I don't know. My purpose and plan might be here talking to you tonight. It might play out in a couple years. You never know. I might be long gone, powder in the dust, because I'm not going to be 6 feet in the grave. I might just be powder somewhere and somebody watch a video. You don't know what kind of seeds you are planting for the future. That's either seeds of teaching people how to hunt, how to fish, teaching them about God, about Jesus, and what he does in your life. There's a lot of things that we can do. So, with that being said, I greatly appreciate every single person that tunes in, either by YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, podcast, TikTok, Instagram. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. So, look at that jerker still on that camera. That's right. You better be glad I'm live. And that is 100% live. If you didn't know, I also have on the channel a lot of times live 24 hours a day streaming of outdoor animals. And depending on the weather, I do take it offline because I do not want any lightning strikes to any of my equipment. But typically that camera is streaming 24 hours a day. And I definitely will be watching him. So, y'all have a good rest of the week. Y'all have a good weekend. And I'll see y'all next Wednesday. And I'm going to pray. Hey, Heavenly Father, thank you so much for everything you do for us. Thank you for the blessings that we received this week. As we are receiving blessings, and we're happy for my wife get a good report on her cancer. There's other ones getting opposite reports. There's others that's dealing with family members. There's others that's dealing with drugs. There's other ones dealing with drugs. There's other ones dealing with their children. There's other ones dealing with fill in the blank. Yeah, we're happy this week. We're on top of the mountain. But we know that valley's coming. And at least we can call on your name for help. And say, hey, come sit beside me until it's well with my heart. Show me your plan. Let me do what is right. In the hard times and in the easy times. Don't forget about him in the easy times. Because you're going to sure enough call on him during the hard times. Don't let your name be a stranger to him. Be with our military that's overseas. Be with their families here. As there's so much rain coming in the middle of the United States right now and over the next couple days, be with the first responders, the linemen, the utility, the people, highway patrol, EMS, fire, police, sheriff, whoever, DOT. Be with them people. Bring them back home safely. And as some of them are dealing with flooding in their own areas of their own house, they have lost everything, but they're still out helping and protecting others. Keep them safe. Bring them home. Put an extra protection around them. And as our missionaries are going overseas, be with them. Have those people that they're going to go talk to have open ears and prepare their hearts before they get there. And just like others, you don't have to go overseas. You don't have to go out of your town. to spread God's name and what Jesus done for him. You have a mouth. Spread it where you are. Let people know what's going on in your life. Lord, I pray that people can hear your name. I pray that somebody's dealing with something right now. Somebody's going through it. Somebody's sick. Somebody's dying. Somebody's family member has just died. I pray that you let them know you are there and that all they need to do is just call upon your name. And I thank you for sending your son to die on the cross for my sins, my family's sins, my friends' sins, for people that I don't even know, for generations after me. Your son paid a price for something that I can't earn, something I can't buy, something I definitely can't do on my own. He paid it all. And I thank you. Thank you for everything you do in my life and my family's life and the people that tune in. Thank you for all the blessings you give us and the blessings of the outdoors. Amen. So I'll see y'all next Wednesday at 8 o'clock. That joker's still out there. You're mine. I'm just trying to tell you. I mean, he ain't even. I mean, should we even name that deer? Like, if we name him, does that mean I don't get to hunt him? Very questionable. Right now, Billy Bob, you don't have a name, but we're going to name you on this channel. So, y'all drop a name. He's still going down. All right. Here's a word from our sponsors, and I'll see y'all next week.
Matthew Knight with Satura Investors out of Charlotte. There's the information. The link to his website is scrolling across the banner down at the bottom, and it's also in the description. Today's episode is about helping business owners and working professionals like you who share a passion for the outdoors shooting sports, zeroing them in to their long-term financial goals. So if you need any information or contact or any other questions, contact Matthew. Flint Ridge Hauling Service, LLC, has partnered up with the channel. It is your go-to provider for all your hauling needs. They are not just any hauling service. They are an active DOT interstate hotshot hauling provider. Flint Ridge Service LLC prides itself in its reliable transportation services. This team ensures that your cargo is delivered safely and on time no matter the distance. Whether you need to transport goods across the county or state line, they have the capacity and the expertise to meet your hauling needs. Equipped with a smooth riding 40-foot air ride equipped trailer and a max hauling capacity of 20,000 pounds, there's no load too big or too small that they can't handle. Look no further than Flint Ridge Hauling Service LLC.